you know, Elsa, right now, we're actually on the 60. Let me clear that up. We're on the 60. We just passed Downey. This guy's shutting off his lights. You know, it's a dark car, but that's not going to lose anybody right now. This vehicle, very, very noticeable. He is slowing down a little bit. At one time, we were using the GPS, and we were tracking it because Jeff was asking about 98 miles an hour at one time. Why they're doing it this way? Well, you know, there've been a lot of policy changes recently. They don't want to have these dangerous pursuits. They're trying to use different tactics to bring these to an end quicker, and safety. That's the big word. They're worried about the public. They're worried about their officers, and they're also, it's sometimes even worried about these criminals. They don't want to see anybody get injured in any type of these chases. So this is one of the reasons why they're switching up these tactics. Now, is the California Highway Patrol going to take it over? That's kind of an interesting question too. It's not the type of situation where the LAPD kind of just is playing hot potato saying, take it. You know, they have to actually get there, engage, and make a conscious decision to chase this vehicle. If that happens, we're going to be here. We're going to see it happen. But right now, I can tell you, LAPD, they actually, as I understand it, have turned off their light, but they are still in tracking mode. You see that vehicle right there, and he's actually speeding up once again. You see it when he opens it up. And when he puts his foot in it, he starts really starting to move out there. And that is one of the reasons the information is being passed back and forth from the helicopter to the units on the ground to the watch commander saying, you know, this guy is acting very erratic, very dangerous. And sometimes that will be enough for the watch commander or somebody in that position to say, re-engage the pursuit. Right now, still tracking. CHP being notified. Are they in the area? They have to be in the area. They have to take it over. Stolen vehicle, that's the original one. So maybe they might just let it go. We don't want to see that, but you can see this guy cutting people off out here. Whoa, look at that. Right through the center there. Yeah, that is, you know what? He is not a motorcycle. He cannot share lanes. So, you know, these are the type of moves that is going to get this thing re-engaged. What agency, we don't know, but this is definitely a stolen vehicle, Dodge Charger. We don't know what type of Charger, but we do know right now this vehicle moving about 100 miles an hour, eastbound 60. We're getting into the Pico Rivera area. That's giving you an idea how quick this car is moving this evening. Well, we just passed Paramount. I just read the sign just a moment ago. Eastbound 60, just past Paramount. That's going to put us Montebello area, South San Gabriel. But you got this. See how this car is moving along out here, and it's not fooling anybody. It does appear that his front headlights are out, off. But this vehicle, it seems like he's driving 1 foot on the brake. That rear end lit up out here this evening. The car is still moving at a very good clip. LAPD still following it. And, of course, they are talking to California Highway Patrol. They don't have anybody in position. That's what I'm hearing. So they're going to try to get that all sorted out. This may become a full-blown pursuit again. Right now, tracking mode. But this guy moving very, very quickly. No headlights on. You can imagine just driving along on the freeway and have somebody squeeze by you like that with a full-size vehicle. Could, you know, one of these drivers might panic, and that could create an issue. So right now, dangerous situation for sure. High speed, 60 east. We're getting into the Whittier Narrows area. And of course, we got the 605 coming up. Don't know which way he's going to go. Doing another tight squeeze right there. High speeds, light coming back on. I'm going to figure out whose light that is here in just a minute. Sheriffs. Stolen. Yes. Well, right now he's in the HOV lane. I know everybody's kind of wondering. He's just playing with the triple digits. He's getting about 100 miles an hour. Then he'll drop down, then back up to 100. Now this is basically we're tracking. We're keeping an eye on this with the helicopter. So that's where we're getting our numbers from. We can tell you that light right now, it's going to be the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff's Department joining the pack, right, to keeping a light on this. They're going to be working with the California Highway Patrol. I do see some reds and blues flashing up ahead. Does look like they're going to be getting onto the freeway, maybe a little bit ahead of this. So we'll see if they're going to slow down and then just kind of blend in behind them. Where are we right now? We're going to be Avocado Heights area, City of Industry, and staying on the 60 eastbound. The car is stolen, what they're saying, LAPD 77th Division. The reason why I say it like that is not to sound like, ooh, I'm technical, but 77th Division, you got to figure it's somewhere down around 77th Street, down there in the South Los Angeles area. Don't know how long it's been gone. Don't know how long it's been stolen. But definitely the LAPD, somebody really paying attention out there, one of the boys in blue, saw that car earlier this evening, watched it get onto the freeway. They ran the plate. They knew it. They tried to get behind him, but they actually lost him for one point. But his aggressive driving made it pretty apparent, and again, they found him. That's when they were following. Then it went to full-blown pursuit. Then they backed off because of that aggressive driving. Right now, though, eastbound is where we're going. Definitely going to be in the Hacienda Heights area right now, City of Industry, depending upon what side of the freeway you want to pick. But California Highway Patrol, they're talking about joining this pursuit, but we have yet to see them. There they are. And so they are now fully in pursuit. We don't know if it's really going to be handed over, meaning they're just going to say, it's all you. Right now, though, look at these hard moves out there. Look at that. All the way from the left, all the way to the right. He might be getting off the freeway, but at these speeds, it's going to be very, very dangerous. Going to keep an eye on it for sure. Light traffic out here, but boy, he likes to get close to these other cars, and it just makes it hair-raising every time he gets that close. Copy. Why is he slowing down? Oh, he's getting blocked in. It's not the Hellcat. Charger. Getting way over. Looks like we're going to be transitioning. Well, it might be just a transition out here. We're over in the Diamond Bar area now. It just gives you an idea how well you can get around out here in Los Angeles if there is no traffic and you want to go about 100 miles an hour. You guys were discussing that. That is the four-door. That is going to be the four-door Dodge. It's going to be the Charger. That's going to be the Charger right there. And we were talking. I heard you guys throwing out the horsepower stuff. I really don't think that's going to be the Hellcat. If it is, very amazing, and I think it would probably outrun the helicopter. But, you know, that's really not the deal. You know, whatever it has underneath the hood right there, this guy is putting his foot in it, and it goes quick. And it gets really tight out there. He steers around, and he gets really close to all these other innocent people out here, and that's part of the problem. The other big part is that he's not stopping for the police, and that car's stolen. It doesn't even belong to him. So those are the issues right there. Now, the California Highway Patrol, they're behind it, lights and sirens, doing what they can to alert the public, at least get people's attention, saying, hey, this is coming your way. Now, that rear light stays on in that car. I've seen them try to shut it off. It does go off occasionally, but then comes back on. You know, Jeff, you're right. Probably this guy, probably not that familiar with that car, and that might be part of those issues. Those headlights definitely out. So anybody looking in their rearview mirror, as you do every now and then while you're driving on the freeways out here, you're going to see something coming, but this guy you might not, but the reds and blues, that might give you a heads up. I can tell you right now we're going to be southbound. I believe this is going to be on the 50, I want to say 57, southbound 57. It's going to get a little hilly up here. We're going to be going up the hill and then down the hill. Right now, though, his speed's still holding about 80, 90 miles an hour. California Highway Patrol right there with him. They're going to be staying right behind him. Wait a second. Timmy, did you say California Highway Patrol over him as well? The helicopter is going to be, they're switching it out as I understand it. So the sheriffs are leaving, and the California Highway Patrol helicopter is going to be above them. Look at this, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and you know those type of moves, those big dynamic moves, he could lose control. Probably not, but it could happen. Light traffic, I hear the California Highway Patrol emphasizing that quite a bit, but still, when he gets close to these guys right there, he's making those wild moves, just passing them. Look at that, like they're standing still. Earlier on, those two big rigs kind of blocked him in. He was using the emergency lane. Thank goodness somebody wasn't using it for what they needed, an emergency. There was nobody got hurt. Right now, though, California Highway Patrol on the ground, staying behind him, tracking that vehicle, lights and siren, warning the public, keeping an eye on him. This guy making these wild moves, trying to stay away. California Highway Patrol helicopter now above as well, so it's all in one agency. We're going to keep an eye on it, as well as law enforcement. They're going to try to work some plans, maybe come up with some kind of magic. We've seen it in the past, something to stop this vehicle. Right now, these high speeds, pit maneuver, not going to be on their list, but maybe something else. Yep, back in the emergency. Gore point. Well, the updated information, I can tell you where we are. Fullerton, you can add that to the list of all those cities he went through this evening. Getting very close to the 91. We're making some kind of guesses here on which way he's going. We'll see here in a second. He could stay on the 57, but some people are thinking he's going to continue eastbound. I'm thinking he's just going to go south. I don't think this guy's got a plan. I think he's just doing his thing, and you know what? I'm going to leave it at that. This is what I always really don't like is when they go underneath something like that and we can't see him, but there he is, pop back out. And we're going to find out here in just a second where he's going to be going, 91 or stay on the 57. Now, California Highway Patrol, they're behind him. And you can see another one, another officer from California Highway Patrol nearby. Something interesting that you can kind of watch out here is when they're switching out right there. That was one of the things that I was saying. There was one that was parked there on the side. So they're switching out. Then they do that because there's areas that they patrol. So they basically just switched out. They handed it off from Santa Fe Springs units to this one right here. We're going to figure this out right here in a minute. I got to work with Tim to get an idea where he's at. Keep an eye on the chase. But right now I can tell you this car's still running. California Highway Patrol not mirroring the images, not mirroring the driving that this guy is doing out here. He will basically, you know, when he does all those crazy lane changes, you'll see California Highway Patrol not do it because it's dangerous. They just want to keep an eye on that car, and they're also going to try to keep an eye on where that car is going. One of the reasons why we're moving off like this, I guess, is because we're getting very close to the Disneyland TFR. The Disneyland TFR means 3,000 feet. This evening, you probably can see it in the shot. It's a lot of haze out here. So we're going to be unable to climb to that 3,000 feet. I don't want to take away from the pursuit, talk about aviation, but so it's going to be getting farther and farther away from us. We're going to track it the best we can. If they probably will come out on the other side of the TFR and we'll be back over it. We're not going to lose it now that I said it, but we're going to keep an eye on it. That's one of the reasons why it does seem like it's getting farther and farther away from us. It is. Where is he transitioning? South 57. This is going to be an off-ramp here, but I believe it's just a transition to another freeway. I think we're going to be getting on the southbound 5 freeway from the 57. I think that's what they're talking about right now. Orange, I can tell you that. We're definitely in orange. And now I'm being told that it's South 22. He's on the South 22 right now. So it's going to keep on moving, and they actually just said extremely light traffic. So that's really good news for anybody that may be on the road. 100 miles an hour, number 3 lane, that's just basically just me repeating what I'm hearing right now, but you can see this guy really moving out. That big car, you know, it's kind of almost good to see this car on these bigger streets, wide, no sharp turns. You know, that car, you know, I'm not taking anything away from it, but it is a big car. 100 miles an hour, if he starts getting into some heavy turns, that car might not be handling as well as it is on the freeway. But 100 miles an hour, pretty much since the whole time we've been over it. Sometimes he's dropped a little bit slower, but he's been keeping those triple digits this entire ride. California Highway Patrol, they've switched out cars. We've gone through different areas, different units. Right now we're going to be in the Santa Ana area. Eastbound 55 from the 20. Up, never mind. Well, when he's made up his mind, we'll tell you where he's going. Copy. Think he's heading back? Oops, sorry. Charger. Northbound 55. Well, the latest is this pursuit's continuing on. This car not slowing down. Was one of these shots where we actually got ahead of it there for a little bit. It was just kind of a different look, just kind of trying to peek in through the windshield, see what we can see. Only thing we do see right now is that driver behind the wheel continuing this high-speed chase out here. California Highway Patrol, they're behind it. They're trying to bring it to the end the best way they can. Villa Park is the area where we're at. Extremely light traffic. They're saying the number 2 lane. Northbound 55 freeway. The California Highway Patrol, you know, it's very cool to hear these guys talk. Trained professionals, they don't get excited. They're not like me. They're just kind of just doing it like they're talking about golf. Northbound 55 at no traffic. Very calm. You know, up here, I just see all this potential sometimes, and I get a little excited. There's no doubt about it. We're coming up on another freeway transition. We got the 91 coming up again. Not sure what he's going to do. We've seen him make those crazy lane changes, so we're going to keep an eye on it. But right now, northbound 55 coming back up onto the 91, and it looks like he's doing that lane change again. We'll see what he's going to be taking here in just a moment. But California Highway Patrol right behind him. It looks like it says West 91, but he's made that change at the last minute again. And here we go on the transition road. So far, we haven't seen any construction. So far, we haven't seen any really slow traffic. It has been pretty wide open on the roads tonight. That is a blessing for anybody involved. That driver, he's just going to keep his foot in it probably as long as he can. That's my guess, and that's just going on what we've been seeing. Sounds like it's going to be westbound on the 91 freeway. Made that transition pretty much for sure now. There is some traffic, but it's eastbound 91. So he's made the wise choice once again. The bad choice is that it's a stolen vehicle. He's being pursued. Should just pull that thing over. California Highway Patrol right behind him. This started all the way down in South Los Angeles. Right now, we're way out here in the Villa Park area. Tustin is going to be the next off-ramp, and you can see this car not even slowing down. Very, very light traffic. I'll show you the California Highway Patrol These guys doing their thing, staying professional out here. And again, you have a couple of cars. You got those 3 cars. That last vehicle, if this thing comes to an end, he probably is going to slow down, do a block to make sure that the regular traffic doesn't get too close to it, because you just don't know what's going to happen when this thing comes to an end. That driver could get out and run across the freeway. We've seen that kind of craziness in the past. Right now, though, it's just a chase. Not just a chase. This guy's going 100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour. Just got it confirmed once again. Center lane. This car is just going, but at least we're heading back towards the Los Angeles area. We are westbound 91, Anaheim. Coming up on Fullerton. Jesus Christ. Well, there's always a method, and basically it's very simple. I can tell you, they want to keep the public safe. 115 miles an hour, that was, they were talking about it being clocked at 115 miles an hour. So that car making that little bit of a turn right out here, westbound 91. We're going to be in the Fullerton area. Now there's going to be a big, this is one of the areas where you could take the 5 or stay on the 91. We're going to see which way he goes out here. My guess, 91, but we'll see. But 115 there for a little bit. Right now, this is when he gets, makes those moves right there, and just squeezing it out there. Westbound 91 at the 5. We're at the interchange. I just heard somebody say, but it couldn't have been while he's doing that transition. But it was probably right before it. 120. 120 miles an hour. These cars, they have limiters. Well, they can be changed, but from the factory, they have limiters in those cars. It's pretty much, that's going to be pegging it. That's going to be as fast as that car is going to go. I'm sure there's going to be a car geek out there that's going to Google it and correct me, and I hope they do, because I always love to know the real answer. But it's got to be right around 120s where they're going to limit that car. But he just continues. He's keeping those triple digits going in his odometer, moving along, cutting these people off. Luckily, we haven't seen any of the other cars, civilians, swerve too badly, getting out of the way. Getting a little bit more traffic, though. I can tell you that. I'm looking up ahead out here, and it does seem like we're staying on the 91. It's not stopped. There isn't construction or anything like that, but there's definitely more of those tail lights coming up, so the streets are going to get a little bit more packed. Getting a little bit wider, because I'm just kind of curious where they are. During that transition, California Highway Patrol, like you were talking about, these guys train professionals. They're not going to take that transition at those high speeds, even with their lights and sirens on. Also, just to throw this out there, you hear the lights and sirens, you see those lights and sirens, move to the right. That is the law. And if the public makes those moves, it'll keep everybody safer. The law enforcement not even really allowed to pass a vehicle on the left-hand side. So it's just something to keep in mind, that if you see those lights and sirens, move to the right. Let these guys and gals do their job. Right now, we're still going to be staying westbound 91. This car's still moving at quite a clip. We've seen these guys go back to where they start in the past. It's going to be quite a drive. Don't know how much gas was in that car in the beginning. But right now, he's made quite a trip this evening. Probably not enough to empty that tank, but it's those high speeds, you burn more fuel. So maybe one of those ones where we just watch him run out of gas and he gets out. That's a good ending to a chase like this. California Highway Patrol, though, look at these guys right behind them, lights and sirens. And it's also shows you, though, that the public, maybe their awareness not so good, because a couple of people are. I'm trying to keep the shot a little wider. A couple of people doing what they're supposed to, like that little silver car right there, getting over when they see those lights and sirens. That guy getting over, and that's what they need to do. This is going to keep people safe, going to keep that suspect safe, and of course those officers safe as well. Right now, though, 100-something miles an hour, stolen vehicle, as we understand it, just the driver in that car. But that's a lot of car, like we've been talking about. Even if it is the V6, it's still a lot of car. And these guys, this guy really been pushing it tonight. You actually can see those reds and blues every now and then in this guy's rearview mirror. So you know that guy is seeing that, and you got to wonder if he's just thinking, you know what, enough is enough, let me just slow it down. But this guy, he's just keeping his foot in it, and he's keeping that distance. Just the officer's just out of reach. There we go, getting off. Exiting Pioneer. Whoa. Pioneer. You could have had him. Oh. There he goes, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh, oh, nice one right there. Look at it, and the other guy blocking him in. That's just coming to a stop. Oh, that was some sweet work by the California Highway Patrol. Just keeping that car pushed, keeping that rear end just enough out. You got those other officers now facing that vehicle. Now, did that car stall? Is that car disabled? You don't know, but right now, going forward, really not an option. These officers, they're not playing around. They got their guns out. They've got this area locked down. Can he back up? Maybe, but at this point, he really should just kind of bring this to an end. This is 91 and Pioneer. We're on Pioneer. First he went south, then he came north again, and then that awesome pit maneuver what happened there is he tried to make his way southbound on Pioneer. Now the car stopped. Officers, weapons out. That guy not complying quite yet, but I'm sure they're going to be telling him to, basically giving this guy some directions, telling him what to do. They're definitely going to keep an eye on him. But this pursuit, this part is over. This guy not in custody yet. There we go. Yep, he's out of the car. He's backing up. Yeah, and officers from California Highway Patrol giving him those directions. We haven't seen the dog out here on this one. He's going to be getting down. They're going to get him in a position where they feel that even if he had a weapon, he'll be unable to get it in time. That's one of the reasons why they do these type of movements where they get him. And you can see that officer, he's got backup right there. And then one guy is going to pull out the cuffs and take this guy into custody. That's just the only person we've seen in that car. Crazy pit maneuver. This guy trying to get away. But California Highway Patrol, as Elsa was saying earlier on, trained professionals. They kept that pit moving. They got that car spun around, and they brought this thing to an end safely. Nobody hurt, and coming to an end out here on Pioneer. I would say we're going to be in the Fullerton area, just off of the 91 freeway. And I would guess we're still on the web. My voice just giving out. Just give me a second here and let me double check. Simon Desk, are we still up on the web? So let me talk to my Websters here for a moment. I was unable to keep up with you guys. I'm sorry. This was a busy one, and just wanted, it's been a while. I wanted to make sure I brought at least the B minus game to what we got going on out here. The big talk, Challenger, Charger. That is a Charger. No doubt about it. Four-door Charger. I know it's a Charger. I looked down at my phone. I inserted the word Charger 100 times. I know it's a Charger. Thank you. And I know if somebody else was like saying that they weren't. I get it. We're a team. Our game is not to put down anybody ever. At least that's my thing. We all are bringing what we know and trying to make our jobs work. Look at all these officers. That was a pit. I mean, if I ever had to go and say what was a cool one, that was a cool one. Did you see him turning the wheels, trying to correct it? He kept it. That officer kept it going, brought it to an end safely. That car didn't spin out, didn't hit anybody else's car. Officers from California Highway Patrol, whoever that driver was, that guy needs a pat on the back. Maybe a little gold star by his name, up on the roster board at the station. Who knows? But what a chase that was! It's been a long time, and I tried to play the golf pursuit because I've had it in the past where people just say, God, why do you get so excited, Stu? How can you not? That's all I got to say. But this pursuit coming to an end. Suspects in custody. A lot of times, I can talk about this on the web. A lot of times, these people that steal these cars, it's a crime of opportunity. It might be somebody who's homeless. It might actually be like a real car thief. Who knows in the end? But this guy was keeping those triple digits up there on his dash the whole time. Maybe he was thinking he was doing 100%. Who knows? But in the end, this thing coming to an end. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Do we have fuel for that? We need more than 20. All right, yeah, well, I think we have fuel for it, and we'll just keep in orbit.